Hello and welcome to everyone to this short webinar. My name is Bevan Jones and today I will show you how to run and analyse our new computer marked diagnostic assessments for junior science. These assessments are curriculum aligned and will test your students' knowledge and skills in the area of nature science. They are linked to our new Introduction to Science unit for targeted remediation. If you have any questions along the way, just pop them in the channel and I'll try to answer them as we go. So let's get started. I'm just going to flick into the content library briefly because that's where you'll see these folders and these assessments. They are featured at the moment, so diagnostic assessments and also our new Introduction to Science unit. So the focus today is on the diagnostic assessments. We have 3 at this stage, one at level 3 and 4 of the curriculum, one that targets questions at level 4 and 5, and the last assessment there covers all 3 levels of the curriculum. The first assessment will take roughly 40 minutes and has 60 questions. These are the different areas of nature science that we're testing, and within each of these there are questions at different levels of the curriculum, and each student will get a selection of those questions. Okay. The second assessment at level 4 and 5 of the curriculum, very similar, slightly more questions, a little bit longer to complete, but should still fit within a period within your school, and tougher questions here right up to level 5 of the curriculum. And then our level 3, 4, 5, our cross-level diagnostic, will test right through all of those levels. Again, it's slightly longer, 100 questions, will take roughly 50 minutes. So if you're wanting to assign these assessments, you need to click on the Home button, go into our green Assessments tab, and then click Set Assessment at the top of the page. You need to choose the pre-built assessments function and then go through the process of setting that assessment up. Just give you some quick pointers along the way as we go through this. So under the Who area here, you can obviously choose your own classes, but I'd recommend, if you are in charge of a particular year group or subject area, that you assess all the classes in that year group at once so that you can compare all the different classes and you get some great analysis out of that. So you just need to click on all classes and select, say, all the year 9s in one test, all the year 10s, etc. When you click on what, that will take you into the content library, and you can go straight through that featured folder there. These assessments are also in the NZC Nature of Science folder, so if you want to navigate through to there you can. So if you've got a year 9 class, you might want to run with the level 3/4 assessment. You can preview it at that stage. Year 10s, you might go with the level 4/5, or if you wanted to test across all the levels and you had time, you might go with the 3, 4, 5 assessment. So for now, I've got our year 9 selected, so I'll go with the level 3/4, confirm that selection. You might want to rename this rather than diagnostic assessment. It might just be a nature of science quiz to start the year or something like that, and you can also add instructions in there for your students. For the when section, ideally you want to give everyone enough time, all the teachers that teach those classes, enough time to run this assessment with their group. So you might want to extend that end date out for a week or a week and a half, just to give teachers the opportunity to run this assessment with their class. Under assessment conditions, you choose the time frame, so depending on the assessment it will have a default, but you can adjust that if you want to. And you should put under the security, tick the require students to enter an access code. That will generate a code. Each teacher will need to give that code to their class before they start the assessment, and also put students into full screen monitor mode. There is a simple calculator attached to these assessments just for some of the questions that involve calculating averages. That's already enabled, but you can also have text-to-speech enabled if you've got students that need that function. They'll need headphones and they can listen to the questions being read out to them. If you don't want that active, you can disable it. The results will be marked automatically, which is brilliant. You can choose to withhold student results if you want to, and release them once all the classes have finished that test. And the great thing about these assessments is that they are linked back to lessons within the Introduction to Science unit with targeted remediation. So it will give students a month after the end of the test to complete that targeted remediation. You might want to drop that time frame down a little bit. You can also limit the amount of work that they'll be assigned. So The lessons in the assessment are linked to a maximum of 8 lessons. If you don't want students to get that much extra work at the end of the assessment, if they do poorly in the assessment, you can limit that down, and it will target their weakest areas in comparison to other members of the class. The other thing you may want to do is remove the student email about the assessment. When you set this, it will appear in their student dashboard, their student zone, but they won't be able to access it until they get that code off their teacher. Then you can set that assessment. You'll have some information there. You can monitor the students during the assessment, and the analysis will come through to this area. I'll show you what that looks like now. So if you do run the assessment across multiple classes, you see here that there are a number of classes involved, a large group of students, and the average mark from this particular assessment was 78%. Up the top here, this particular school decided to hide the results from their students, but you can change that and release the results when you're ready. The classes, you'll be able to compare all the different classes here and their average score, and you can click into each class as well and see the individual student results. The student results here, you can rank this by any of the column headings, and you can see the percentage of level 3 versus level 4 questions they got correct, as well as how long they spent in the assessment. Also, overall for the whole group, the whole cohort, or the multiple classes that you've assessed, you can see analysis and recommendations. This gives you a really good insight into how many questions at each level the students got correct. So slightly more level 3 questions correct than level 4. You will find that level 5 questions are a bit of a step up, so that would drop off again at level 5. And these are the different lessons that the questions are linked to, and these are the number of students that will be assigned each lesson based on how they performed. So the fair testing lesson, most students are going to get that particular one because of the results down there. And comparatively, you'll get some big groups of students. If they are weak in a particular area compared to everyone else, they'll get those lessons as well. If you want to analyse the questions and see if there are any misconceptions in your cohort, this is a good way to do it. You can click on the average percentage column heading twice, and that will bring all the most difficult questions to the top, and you can click on the questions and view those and go through them, and just make sure that teachers are targeting that information when they go through the test of their group. Okay, I'll just run through the lessons that those assessments are linked to quickly. So in the content library, as I said, we've got the diagnostic assessments there, and those assessments are linked to the new Introduction to Science unit, which is also down in Nature of Science here. So for your junior students, depending if you go down to year 7 and 8, or if you're starting at year 9, these first few lessons here are great to start the year off. And if students do poorly in the particular areas here that are assessed, then they'll be linked back to these lessons. For your year 10 starting out, again, these lessons down the bottom end, looking at nature of science and investigating, will be great to start the year with. Okay, hopefully you found this video or this webinar useful, and please feel free to get in touch if you have any questions. Look forward to hearing from you, and please do let us know how those assessments go. A really great thing you can do at the end of the assessments is run it again at the end of the year and then do a comparative analysis. I'll show you very quickly just to finish off what that would look like. So once you've done a pre and a post test like this, there is a compare results button that you can hit. It'll bring up any other assessments you've done with that group. So if you do run it again at the end of the year, the same assessment will be at the top there, and it can compare those two results for you. So it's a great feature. So running it twice, start of the year and end of the year, really good way to do it, and then you can show value added across the whole group. You'll be able to see a breakdown of classes as well as individual students, and which areas of nature of science they improved the most in as a cohort. So this is looking at some maths data, but you'll get the idea there how it could be used for these new assessments. Alright, thank you very much for joining or watching, and hopefully we'll catch you soon. Thank you. Bye.